Okay, let's talk about mistakes that people make. And I made them in the past until I found out the hard way. Here's a tent we got. A Dutch Army 2-man pup tent, woodland, 85 bucks, 35 for shipping. What are we looking at? 100 bucks, 110 bucks. And we get ourselves a nice tent. Oh, look at the camel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's nice. Bathtub floor. You see the plastic going around the bottom. Oh, man. That is going to be comfortable. Yeah. That's going to be comfortable. That is going to be so comfortable that it's going to break your back. 15 pounds! Came from the Netherlands. What are you guys building over there? Concrete tents? You actually expected your soldiers to carry stuff like this? 15 pounds! God, I can't get over that. This is my tent. Cost me $300. It's double wall, easy to set up. Set it up with poles or hiking poles, or put your own poles with it. I can put me and my dog in there. I can put my backpack in there. I got tons of room. And because it's a double wall, it prevents moisture from building up, so it's not a single wall tent. Single wall tents build up more moisture. This thing weighs under 2 pounds. Just under 2 pounds. 15 pounds? 2 pounds. So half the price. Pay $300. Get better. Which one do you want on your back? Isn't that interesting? Another thing people buy. God, I love camel. I've always wanted to buy one of those just because of the camel. You just get to the point where you're like, oh, the army uses it. I like that. Oh yeah. And when you're inside your tent, nobody sees you anyway, so nobody's going to see the camel. But you get this thing curling in your brain. 210 bucks, shipping 50, so you're in almost $250 for this system. Unless you happen to get it for 80. This thing weighs 10 pounds. So imagine if we bought the tent that's 15 pounds. And then we bought this. We're in the 25 pounds for 2 items. 25 pounds. So a fool and his money are soon parted, aren't they? Let's see. My tent weighs under 2 pounds. Okay. My quilt is a pound. My pad is a pound. Now, I do carry 2 other pads because my dog sleeps on a pad. Might as well say a pound. I think that's it. So I'm at 4 pounds. Maybe 4.5. So let's just say 5. 5 pounds is my complete sleep system with tent and everything. And look what happens with those 2 systems. This is old tech. It's very expensive. You're $250. So let's take a look at a used one. Okay, this is a used sleeping bag. Mine is 20. This thing getting down there, and it's only got 2 hours to go, and it's at $222. There's 8 bids on it. These people know what this is worth. When you get into minus 20, okay, you get into $600 right off the bat. Here's one here, minus 20, $300. But this one's new. These are amazing deals right here. Is what these are. $15 for shipping. Okay. eBay does have some amazing deals. Some of them's new. You got to be careful what you're looking at. But when you see minus 20, this is brand name. This is amazing. But there's something this sleeping bag does not have. Let me show you. Now, Big Agnes has a sleeping bag, and they're not available because they sell up pretty quick. This is $350. So the other one was $250 with the Army style. So for an extra $100, we get a sleeping bag that's like 3 pounds, where the Army one was almost 10 pounds. You see the difference here, the weight to warmth ratio? Would you rather have the 0 degree bag, or would you rather have the Army bag? Now, the Army bag will get you down to minus 20, 25 pretty easy. But 10 pounds. Now, what's nice about Big Agnes, and this is probably one of the best things I've ever seen done, is there's a pad there. You see it there on the bottom of the sleeping bag? That's kind of cool. Let me show you how that works. I have one of these. And you'll see how the pad is tucked in there like a pillowcase. Now, the reason for that is if you're climbing inside your sleeping bag and you're on top of your pad, there is no way that pad's coming out from underneath you. You're not going to fall off your sleeping bag. You're not going to fall off that pad. I mean, that's nice. So you figure $350, you buy a good pad for $300, you're in the $600, $700 for a complete sleep system. But your sleep system's going to be under 4 pounds. So that's pretty impressive. To have a sleep system under 4 pounds that's going to keep you warm in minus 10, minus 20, and you're going to be good. Now, you can double up on the pad with that. I carry 2 pads. I carry 3 because I carry one for the dog. If we do get an exceptional cold night, I do have another pad. You'll see it on the bottom of my pack that'll pull off, and I'll use it on the I'll use it underneath to up my warmth ratio. But at the same time, I use that same pad and undo it, and when I'm sitting on the ground, and this way I keep my butt off the ground and my butt stays warm and dry, and I can cook a meal or whatever. So that pad that I carry on the bottom of my pack weighs less than a pound, and it's used for many different things. Now, this is what I carry in my vehicle. When I bought this, it was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. I actually did a video on them. And if you search back, you might find them. But I paid like $100 for these or something. Boy, this price went up a lot. And I bought one for the car and one for the truck. I have used these on multiple occasions. Now, this is huge and heavy. It's good for minus 25. We'll never see that in Tennessee. But it'll keep you warm. You can unzip this. It'll open up like a king-size blanket. You can put this across 4 people like nothing. Heck, 2 people, you would be very, very comfortable. And I have one in my truck, and I have one in the wife's car, and it basically takes up a whole seat all by itself. And that's where it sits. Vehicle gets in traffic or something happens on the highway, cold night. A lot of people run their vehicles until they run out of gas. You see it on the news all the time. No, not with me. I turn it off, I pull these out, and that's it. I reserve my fuel for what I need it for when things need to get going. I could sleep in my vehicle all night and be completely warm. I have hats, I have gloves, I have extra hats. And the vehicle itself becomes your shelter. So, I cannot stress enough having some form of warmth in your vehicle. When I used to live in Minnesota, I mean, we had wool blankets, we had sleeping bags. I mean, literally, it was ridiculous how many blankets and hats and gloves we carried in Minnesota because it got down to minus 40. It was nuts. And we did break down once in Minnesota because we had an old truck. And we were there for about 2 hours before somebody pulled over asking if I could use some help. And we had no cell phone service. Nothing. Couldn't call tow truck. Nothing. A lot of people say, oh, just call tow truck. There's no cell phone service. And it's the same in Tennessee here where I live in this small town. You literally can drive a half an hour with no cell phone service. When you're driving, you'll look over and I'll look at the wife. Can you call so-and-so? She'll say, I can't. I got no cell. And then all of a sudden you see one bar and you pull over real quick. And you're like, oh, we got one bar. And it doesn't work. You need at least 2. So you break down and there's no cell phone service, you are going to have to get out and walk. And that's why I say make sure you got change of clothes, winter coat. That's why you got some things because you're not going to have to walk far, maybe a mile, before you get cell phone service. But then you can make your call and call your tow truck, whatever you need to do. But you are going to have to walk to get that cell phone service. So you need to think about that. Like I said, I can't believe how much this is now. But they're amazing. I've used them. I've tested them. I've gone out when it's been 15 Fahrenheit and threw up my cot inside side yard on top of the bunker and climbed in, threw my hat on, and went to sleep all night. My wife thinks I'm nuts when I do this stuff. She thinks I'm nuts when I actually go out in the super cold weather. When I get super excited, like we're supposed to be going down to like 15 degrees shortly in another week or so. And I'm actually all excited. She's like, "Are you crazy?" No, I really want to push it. I want to test it. I want to see how much I need to stay warm. The less I need, the less weight. And that's the key. But then you get to the point where it gets too cold and you start shivering. You start shivering. I got to get my ass back in the house. It wasn't enough. I need more insulation. And you keep trying to find that balance. So that's why summertime's nice, because you can get away with really light packs because you're not worried about all that. Your pack literally goes up an extra 10 pounds simply because it's wintertime and it's cold. But those are what I have. I'll see if I can find the video and link to it if you want to check it out. But that's what I keep in my vehicle, is what I do. And I especially wanted this type because it unzipped all the way around and it opened up like a king-size blanket. But if you're not sure what to get and you're new and don't have a clue, go buy a Big Agnes. You won't regret it. Get yourself a pad, slide it underneath. You'll be like, oh my God, I love this thing. And go take a look at Durston. DurstonGear.com. He has some amazing... Sometimes when you buy this stuff, you got to wait 3 months before you get it. You don't get it right away. It's not like these big shops. But this is one of the best tents I've ever owned for how much room and compared to the weight. It's awesome. I would never buy one of these unless I just think the damn camo's so cool I gotta have it sitting on my shelf. Just the way it is. I would never buy one of these unless I want to collect it. That would be the only reason. I mean, if that went down to maybe $30, well, I'd probably buy it. Just to set it on my shelf and say that's cool and collect it. That's about it. But if you go over to Enlighten Gear and you want to really get down to minus 10, 23 Celsius, you're looking at $625 because it's the warmth to ratio is what it is when they build a quilt. And the more duck feathers they put in it, the warmer it is. But look at that weight, 37 ounces. I mean, what is that, pound and a half, 2 pounds? I mean, it's unbelievably light. So everything comes down to warmth, weight, and how much you want to carry. Do you need the Enlighten? No. If you want to take, a whole pound off your back, then you do. But for $625, that's a lot of money. And you figure when you go into eBay and you start looking around, you'll find them for $330. So half the price compared to Enlighten, and you get a minus 20 Fahrenheit sleeping bag. I would go that way. I take the 1 pound penalty and say, I'm good for minus 20 with this thing. Good pad, and I'm pretty well set. And I'd look around. Don't be concerned about the color. You're inside a tent. Nobody's going to see you. But that gives you a basic rundown. You can camp when it's minus 20, minus 30. You can. I'm telling you. You just have to have the right gear. And it's important to think about what you pack, what you carry in your vehicle, and how you prep for that. Like when you start putting stuff in the vehicle, weight really doesn't matter because the vehicle can do it. But when it starts going to your back, the weight really does matter. So now it matters how you move along. The less it weighs, the more you can take in the way of toys. Like my cooking set weighs over a pound. That's a luxury, is what that is. I mean, I could take a pound right off the bat off my pack if I went to a, mountain house food type of thing. And same thing, I carry a chair. It's like a little over a pound. So right there, I could take 2 pounds off my pack right away if I really wanted to, if you wanted to start getting extra light. But when I go camping, yes, I want things light, but at the same time, I want to enjoy myself. Sometimes I want to see if I can cook a whole meal out there and steam vegetables and cook a steak. And I even take a little grill with me. I mean, there's a lot of things I take that are weight penalties. So the more weight I take off of, say, my sleep system or something else, the more toys I could bring. And that's the biggest thing. So there you go. Hope you found it useful. Let me know what you carry. Do you carry that heavy sleeping bag that the Army carries 10 pounds? Do you carry a 15-pound tent? I mean, really? Or are you actually looking at weight and considering what these things are? Let me know. Catch you guys on the next one.